Hi, and welcome to The Phil Show Now. This is a program that takes stories and wants you to be inspired by them. Inspiration that will benefit the community. When you think about leadership, our next special guest not only fits that description, but adds so much to it. Wait until you meet a visionary leader. Coming up next on The Phil Show Now. Welcome back to The Phil Show Now. Rosemary Gill is a visionary, a leader, and somebody that we are so grateful to have on this program. Welcome.
Thank you, Phil. I'm thrilled to be here. So happy.
You are the Zeiterion president and CEO. Mm-hmm. You do so many jobs there, right? What's your favorite job there?
I have a wonderful team that does so many jobs there, essentially. What's my favorite job there? Oh, my goodness. I don't think it's a secret. I love programming. I love the creative nature of that. So anytime we're putting together a program or putting together a season, that's a lot of fun for me.
Stop right there. I always ask famous authors and whatnot, where did that creativity come from?
Yeah. My creativity probably came from my dad, who was an artist. And he was primarily a visual artist, but like most artists, they were creative in all ways. And my mom, who was not an artist by trade, she just had a real strong appreciation for music and the arts, and she really developed that for myself and my siblings and nourished it. So I think it came from that. And of course, anytime you're exposed to the arts, that stimulates creativity. And so when your creativity is stimulated, 100%. You want to think creatively and work creatively. So
all that you have done, and when I say you, it's collectively.
Oh, for sure.
Of course. Mm-hmm. The children's lives that you have touched, I think, supersede any question about the renovation or the restoration. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That is where the heart and the future is, Rosemary.
No doubt about it. Exactly that. They are our future. And there's no getting away from that. And it's a responsibility that we hold dear. And we love all of the work that we do with children and with teachers, and anything that we can do to nurture their humanity, so to speak, right? And help them grow and discover the world and interpret the world and become better citizens. We think that's the role that the performing arts play for everyone, let alone children. But we take that, very much at heart when it comes to children. And our programs not only do all of that, of course, and bring art for art's sake, but all of the programs that we provide for children in the area are connected to curriculum. Mm-hmm. So they support the work that the teachers are doing in the classroom. They are relevant to the kiddos, right? They're seeing this work in the classroom, and then they're coming to the Z, or we're going to them. And it brings another layer of relevance to their learning.
Impact. The Z has, without a doubt, changed the lives of a lot of children, inspired them. Let's talk about the impact that the restoration and renovation of this historic theater has had on you and on our community.
Oh, where do I begin, Phil? The impact. Well, you're talking about the project in general, right?
Yes.
So, well, of course, we've hired a great deal of people. There's a few contractors in the building. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but there's, hundreds of men and women who are working in the building. Of course, we doing all sorts of activity, many of which are from the South Coast, and feel like incredibly connected to the project because they grew up coming to the Z and coming on field trips, and then bringing their children to the Z. So they have a wonderful connection that way, and we've gathered some of those stories. And they're not only working at the Z, but they're having lunch downtown, and they're picking up coffee, and on occasion they're staying at the hotel, some of which are here long-term in hotels. So we're impacting the community in all sorts of ways through that. Our staff and the staff of the resident companies, of course. It's very difficult to be closed at this time, but we continue to do some programming outside of the building, and we have kept all of our staff. I'm happy to say, we have essentially no revenue coming in, at least for the past year, other than contributed. And so that's been, proven kind of difficult, but we had a plan for that. Mm-hmm. And so they're all on board, they're working, they're contributing to the economy, they're contributing to the well-being of this community. And
I'm sure membership is very important.
Membership is important. Yeah, we can touch on that too.
Of course, but I want to stay with impact.
Sure.
How do you balance modernity and history? How do you, that I'm sure is a challenge, huh?
It's a challenge, and I'm happy to say that I wasn't necessarily responsible for the design of that. That was a great deal of work. The building is more than 100 years old. It came online in 1923 as a vaudeville house, and then quickly transitioned to silent film, and then talkies, and then and then movies for several decades after that. And a lot of people remember it as the State Theater. When the Zeiterion opened in 1923, there were it was, I think, the last of 17 live theaters in New Bedford.
You're kidding.
No. Wow. No. It was the last one to open. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. But if you think about that time frame, right, it was before the Depression, but right after the pandemic. And people were kind of coming, and right after the First World War, people were coming out of that. They wanted to be with one another. They wanted reasons to come together and gather and be in community and celebrate, really, and celebrate being able to be back out into the world after the great pandemic.
Yes.
So, ironically, we're in kind of that same position 100 years later. We think, we know that people want to come together again. So I've already forgotten your question.
Oh, no, you didn't. Yeah. You were perfect. In fact, we're going to talk more about the restoration, the renovation. We're going to talk about the future of the Zeiterion Theater when we return. More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much. Let me thank the good folks at iGreen Landscape, your one-stop solution for your residential and commercial property management. Whether it's snowing or whether you're mowing, let Team iGreen handle your landscape and hardscape year-round. From spring cleanups to commercial snow management, I recommend the good folks at iGreen Landscape. Call for your complimentary consultation today. Welcome back. Rosemary Gill, who is Zeiterion President and CEO, joins me with a lot of great information. I'm sure you're excited, huh? With all of the news that's
bursting,
happening.
actually, if
Absolutely.
I say so.
Yes.
It's just such a culmination of so many years of planning, and for it all to be coming together.
That's what I wanted to know.
Bursting. Yeah. So, we started this thinking about this, conceiving the notion of renovating and restoring this building more than 10 years ago already. With our first strategic plan, we thought about, jumping into a capital project. And at that time, it was very scary because it was a lot more money than we had ever raised before. And so it felt daunting. But we put we did a survey of the community, to the community, and we asked them essentially lots of things. But one of the things was the pain points that they experienced when coming to the Z. And they identified kind of 4 things, and that was the seats, of course, which were terrible, the bathrooms, or lack thereof, the sound system, which could be problematic.
All legit.
And they also felt like the building wasn't terribly welcoming. We didn't have a marquee, and so they wanted the marquee to come back.
Be its face.
So we kind of started off with those 4 things, which essentially was around kind of the patron experience. And that's what our first vision of this project was going to be.
Wow.
And then we brought in an incredibly dynamic architectural firm from Boston called Wilson Butler Architects. And they challenged us to think even bigger. And they made a proposal that included more than just the patron experience. And they imagined a way that we could bring some of the areas of the building online that were previously underutilized, and activate them as public programmable spaces. And so it took a big turn. Around the same time, the city was had launched its first arts and culture plan, and we participated in that. And we learned a lot about what the community was looking for, and particularly the arts and cultural community was looking for, and what were their needs. And so that helped inform a lot of the decisions that were made about the spaces that we would build out and activate. And so we started kind of the project in earnest. We also brought in some consultants for other things. At the time, we were really looking at our equity policies and systems and decision making. And
it's not easy, is it?
No, it's very, very, very important, and we are on a journey with all of that.
Of course.
And we brought in a company called Wolf Brown, and they did a kind of market study here in the community. And they not only spoke to folks that were connected to the Z. Of course, we have a huge email list and platforms on social media, et cetera. But it was important for us to hear from those people who didn't feel connected to the Zeiterion or didn't feel perhaps welcome at the Zeiterion. So Wolf Brown went out into the community. They went into the churches. They went to the schools. They went to some of the big businesses, and they did some focus groups as well as put out a survey. And we heard some things that were that were difficult to hear about ourselves.
You know what, though? That's how we learn.
It is.
In many respects, it's unintentional.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you bring enlightenment, and you wouldn't want to do anything otherwise.
So we learned quite a bit from there, and we put together some goals and strategies in order to change and pivot and work differently and work rather. We heard that we were working within the community, but we were really planning for them and not with them. And so it seems like a very simple statement, but it is not. that is a real shift in working.
Because why is it so simple to look at but complicated inside? What is it?
I would say one of the complications is timing. That takes time, right? You have to pause, you have to think, you have to reflect, you have to bring people in, you have to work around their schedules. So I think that was probably one of the hardest challenges, because we work pretty quickly. We are in the event, business, and that's riddled with deadlines. And so we're constantly moving and tackling the next deadline and the next one and the next one. And so we had to stop and say, and really examine kind of that sense of urgency. Yes. And so we did, and we started listening. And that helped inform our next kind of journey, which was into a new strategic plan. And I'm happy to say we've just kind of completed that planning, and we're kind of in the first year of that.
Stop
and that's
right
helped
there,
guide us.
Because we're going to ask our audience to join us in just a moment as you detail that exciting plan.
Sure.
Zeiterion President and CEO Rosemary Gill here on The Phil Show Now. More of this amazing discussion in a minute, but first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show Now. If you're ready to finally make your biggest dreams a reality, let my friend Jared Methia at Milestone Mortgage Solutions get you your next mortgage or your next home loan. Jared is a trusted local loan officer who works with some of the most reputable companies. Jared reminds me if you're a first-time home buyer or maybe you're looking to refinance. He says, go to him. And I, too, recommend Jared Methia, providing you with a stress-free experience. Call Jared today for a competitive rate, for quick approvals, and for one-of-a-kind personalized service. That's Jared Methia at Milestone Mortgage Solutions. You can now watch The Phil Show whenever you'd like. Like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. And catch us wherever you catch your favorite podcasts. Like, follow, and please share The Phil Show Now with a friend. The Phil Show Now. Welcome back. We're continuing with Rosemary Gill, the President and CEO of the Zeiterion, and we're talking about something exciting. How do you start a program the magnitude of what is in front of us? And you were saying 2 years closed here, and how does all of that now start up again?
Yeah, lots of planning, lots of coordination, lots of vision, lots of dreaming, lots of false starts, 2 steps forward, 1 step sideways type of,
The
thing.
way life is.
It really is. But we've been planning mostly. How do we reopen this building? Yeah. And bring it back online. And we're doing it. First of all, we just launched the new season, the 2026 season, that will start in January. And I'm really, thank you.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's we've launched just part of it, actually, Phil. So we're folks can probably have seen some of the emails and the social media posts that have already announced the season and the grand reopening. But this is a season that they'll see a lot of things added. Mm-hmm. So this isn't all that is going to be happening and all that we'll be bringing to New Bedford in 2026. There'll be much, much more and lots of things in the works. But that said, we are excited about this tremendous collaboration between the Z New Bedford Festival Theater, and New Bedford Symphony Orchestra, which of course are the three nonprofit organizations that call the Z their home, right, and have for many, many years. And so it seemed very natural and appropriate for the first show, the first time that we're welcoming an audience back into that building, that it be all three of us, all three organizations. So we've been planning
I'm getting
that.
heart rushes.
It's going to be something really special. There'll be two showings because we know it's going to be that popular and lots of people
It'll be
are
sold
going
out.
to.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, so we'll have a 2:00 and a 7:00.
Good.
And
How about the next day?
yeah, maybe. No, that'll be it. But what folks will see that day is this tremendous collaboration. The symphony will have its 65-piece orchestra on the stage as a backdrop to singers and dancers from Festival Theater. The Zeiterion is bringing in some ballroom dancers, and a comedian, Dulce Sloan, who's a nationally renowned comedian who'll be coming into town for this. We'll have some local talent on our stage, which we're thrilled about. Of course, New Bedford has tremendous talent, as we know, and so we're excited about spotlighting that. Yeah, hidden or not so hidden. Some of them are doing really well.
All right.
Outside of New Bedford.
There you go.
And through the years have done really well. And this was their start, but it certainly wasn't their end. And we're thrilled to be bringing them back and spotlighting them on our stage. So that's going to be opening night. And what people are going to see is the beautiful restoration of this building, and it's going to just glimmer and glow and shine with
What's
all.
the first thing? What's the first thing
First
people
thing they're
will
going
notice?
to see is the marquee. As
Right.
they approach the building, of course, for the first time in decades, we will have a real traditional historical marquee on the exterior of the building that'll have beautiful lights and video and all of the things that one can expect from a theater marquee, which I believe is going to become another landmark for downtown New Bedford. So that's going to be beautiful, and having the ability to put folks' name in lights.
Here come the movie cameras.
Yeah. So that's the first thing they'll see. Then they'll walk into one of two areas, either the box office, which will be brand new. We've moved the box office to have more of a presence to the sidewalk. And much, much larger. So they'll either enter through the box office, which is beautiful, or they'll enter through the main lobby, which is the original historic lobby. And they'll see that all shiny and new and painted and restored and just gorgeous. Not too many changes. Of course, we had to maintain the historical nature of the building. And then they'll see a new what we're calling the upper lobby. So a second lobby adjacent to the historic lobby, it'll be all opened to the historic lobby. And they'll be able to access that. There's 3 steps up to that new lobby, or they'll be able to enter into the brand new elevator. For the first time, the theater will have an elevator. It's shocking to say.
Oh, wow.
But the entire front of house will be accessible now from the basement up to the 3rd floor, and we're excited about that.
Of course.
So then on the upper lobby, there'll be a brand new bar and concession area and beautiful place for gathering.
Yeah.
It more than triples the size of the lobby, so there'll be lots of space for people to meet up with friends and gather before the show and relax during intermission. And so they'll see that for folks who are members, and we hope that folks become members, of course. They can walk up the beautiful new grand staircase from the upper lobby into the 2nd floor member lounge.
This sounds like a movie. I mean it.
Yeah,
It's
tremendous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is, unbelievable.
Yeah.
To think that the Zeiterion, as it's simple, how it started,
Yes.
is now.
We were kind of gritty and
All right.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my God.
it will be beautiful,
fabulous.
and so they'll be able to go up to the second floor lounge if they're members, and then we'll open the beautiful doors in the lobby into the theater, and that's when the real gem will glow and shine, and the old lady will come back to her original grandeur, and it's just going to be stunning.
Oh,
Yeah.
It already has been by your beautiful description.
Yeah, there'll be, for the first time ever, an accessible ramp that spans the entirety of the auditorium. We'll have brand new seats, and they'll be uniform and, the same throughout the building, and they'll be comfortable, and they'll have cup holders, which will be fun. New lighting, all of the paint and the plaster, the historic paint and plaster has all been restored. The beautiful golden muses, the fantastic gold dome in the center that holds the shimmering Czechoslovakian chandelier that is being out for restoration right now and repair. It has more than 20,000 crystals on it. It'll just come back and be spectacular.
Original?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The shows and audiences that chandelier
has seen,
has been
Good
a part of.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the mighty Wurlitzer organ will be back in the house. Also the original, and having seen shows.
Oh, sure.
And that's being brought in by the lovely organization that maintains and volunteers to play that MCADOs, which is it's a little bit of a mouthful, but they're called the Eastern Massachusetts chapter of the American Theater Organ Society. And we are so grateful to them.
Beautiful.
That they play that beautiful Wurlitzer organ at every school show, before every school show. So when the 1,200 kids are filing in, getting off of their buses and, all of the excitement and rambunctiousness that 1,200 kids can have, they're listening to that beautiful Wurlitzer organ play that is, helping them calm down and relax and get prepared for what they're going to see on the stage. So it's great.
So awesome.
So on opening night, the Wurlitzer organ will be, so they'll walk into the theater, and not only will it be a treat for their eyes, but also for their ears, and they'll be hearing the beautiful sounds of the organ and seeing their friends and coming together with their community. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, is providing that opportunity for people to come together again and see one another and experience the joy and the wonder of the arts together and collectively.
I refer to Rosemary as the president, the Zeiterion president and CEO. She is a weaver, just like a beautiful basket in the community that brings things together. We're going to be back in just a moment. More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much. Carefree Homes is an award-winning home improvement company. It's been family-owned and operated since 1978. For over 46 years of business and thousands and thousands of satisfied customers, this company is A+ rated. It's an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau. And listen to this, no payments until the project is completed. How's that? Financing options are available for roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, you name it. CarefreeHomesCompany.com. Call for a free quote. 508-997-1111. CarefreeHomesCompany.com. Welcome back. Rosemary Gill joins us, and we're talking about the Zeiterion, the $37 million new, restored, renovated Zeiterion?
Sure. We sure are.
There was a question somewhere in there.
I still kind of can't believe when I hear that number, 37 million, but there it is. And so the building is completely, other than the stage house, which we're not touching for this project, that'll be for a future project, but everything from the auditorium towards the front of house will all be either restored or renovated. And we talked about the auditorium, of course, and the new lobbies and the member lounge. But in addition, in the basement, under the under the second lobby, so to speak, will be a really fun space that we're calling the Speakeasy, which is a nod, of course, to the 1920s when the building was open and prohibition was in place and was the law of the land. But there were speakeasies everywhere, and certain all over New Bedford. And so we're kind of fashioning a nice new space for that. And it'll be really fun. It'll be autonomous from what's happening in the theater, so something separate can be happening in the Speakeasy while there's a show happening in the theater, which is great.
Oh, yes.
Folks from the community can use it, can rent it, and artists can use it, and it can be for meeting spaces. All of these new spaces are going to have a lot of flexibility in both the way that they can be configured with furniture and as well as technology, so that they're multi-use. And the Speakeasy, we're kicking off shortly after the grand reopening event on the 17th. We are going to launch the first event in the Speakeasy, and it's going to be a Roaring 20s night.
I was just thinking, do people come, prepared in the right fashion?
I hope so. And the Speakeasy is going to be very casual. It is something that you can buy tickets for, but we're seeing it more, certainly for something like the Roaring 20s, I actually would encourage people to buy tickets in advance, because the Speakeasy, that only has about 65 to 85 people capacity, so it's limited. So if you want to attend that, I would encourage you to purchase your tickets right away. But it is the type of thing that, because it'll have its own bar, and we see people kind of coming and going. And so we'll have the ability to let people in after the fact and sell tickets right at the door. And maybe even have a special secret password and that kind of thing, which will be fun. So, yeah, exactly. And then for the first time ever, and probably one of the most exciting things of this project, second or tied with, the new accessibility features and the fact that we're bringing this building up to code.
Especially if people are just joining us. The bathrooms, huge there, I'm sure a lot. And
I neglected to talk about that, Phil. I can't believe it. The bathrooms will be new and beautiful and more than double the size, and the men's room will be up on the main level and fully accessible.
Absolutely.
So we're excited about, and there'll be bathrooms on every floor. So no matter where you are.
Age think this is thrilling.
Well, I told you that was one of the 4 pain points. Everybody complains about the bathrooms and the bathroom lines, so we're very excited about that.
What other challenges have you faced?
So second to that, maybe, or tied with all of that, is what's happening on the 3rd floor. And so that is, for the very first time, this building and this organization will have dedicated space for learning through the arts.
Beautiful.
And so we'll have a classroom space, and we'll have a dance movement / movement studio that's just spectacular. It'll have mirrors on the walls and dance bars, but it'll also have the ability to close that off with curtains. It'll have a sprung floor, which is ideal for dancers. And it will be able to be used not only by the Z, but the symphony and festival theater for their rehearsals, for their small events. It can be an event space. It can be a black box space. we're seeing the combination of all of these things, right? The new movement studio, the classrooms, the second floor lounge, the speakeasy, the upper lobby, all of these new spaces as a way for us to really lean into our new strategic goals and the way that we want to serve this community and uphold our mission, which is really with having the community at the heart of everything that we do. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, the building will be open, and not just on, Friday nights or Thursday nights for a show. We picture people coming and going all times of the day, either to, attend a class or for a meeting or to rehearse, all those things and everything in between.
She's almost a cardiologist. Rosemary, Gill, we're going to be right back in just a moment.
Cottage Street Motors in New Bedford has been a vital business in the area. And part of the reason people love Cottage Street Motors is because they are part of the community. They keep things simple. On the car lot, they do things the old-fashioned way. And if you need auto financing, no sweat. They are their own bank. They have been serving the area for decades. I trust them, and I hope you will too. Or at least give them a call. Check things out at Cottage Street Motors. I highly recommend them.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The hardest thing for me to do is put a period at the end of the sentence. Are going to wrap up, but how do you wrap up?
Yeah, how do we wrap up?
All right.
I don't know.
No, I mean, with all that's happening here, Rosemary.
Yeah.
How, wow. I mean, you led us on a journey that it all leads to light in the community.
I think so. I like to think of the Zeiterion and the performing arts kind of as an antidote and as the light that is so needed right now in our world and in our society. And so that's how I would kind of wrap it up, Phil. Like, come back, let us embrace you, let us let us allow for the community to gather again.
And likewise, embrace you.
Yes.
This kind of connection.
It's so important, so important for people to get away from their screens and come and be with people, their neighbors, their friends, their family, and have fun.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so happy to be here, Phil. This was fun, and I'll come back anytime. Of course, this is it's the end of the restoration and renovation project, but it is just the beginning. It is the next 100 years, and here we are.
Can you feel the hug? Can you feel the hug?
Of course. Thanks, Phil.
The important Rosemary Gill.
Thank you. Same to you.